Good morning, bitches.
Good morning.
Good morning. I got a bit distracted then because Frankie the cat's decided to curl up in my pedal bag.
He loves
which
it
is
there.
really cute.
Yeah,
But not really on either of these cameras.
that'll be in the outtakes and deleted scenes in the DVD box set.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this show for so long now that we could really comprise a Criterion collection of Good Morning Bitches.
Yes, I believe this is episode 46. So today we are going to be talking about the seminal album Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Perfect day to discuss a Black Sabbath album, really. It is absolutely pissing rain outside.
Yeah.
It's quite dark and ominous, and that's the way Black Sabbath likes it.
Mm-hmm.
This record, I think, like some of the other classic rock albums we have spoken about, was kind of always in my periphery from classic rock radio and just being a part of general pop culture. But I feel like I remember when I got heavily into it was actually I think more the first album, that one I had on vinyl. I had the record. And it starts with this like doomy, thunderstormy sound effect, which I thought was very cool. Yeah, I think it was around then I got very into that album, and then I revisited Paranoid because there was certainly a time where I was like most of the classic rock and early like metal stuff I kind of wrote off as being like douchey dude music or like dad rock kind of stuff. But after kind of coming back to it, I really dug it. I liked the songs, but I think I liked the atmosphere of the band and of the songs a little bit more. I really picked up on like the spookiness of it, and it didn't feel as hokey as I thought it was at first.
Yeah, I was trying to. Ow! No, don't bite me.
Oh, you feisty
dear.
now.
Oh dear.
Well.
Okay, I'm gonna do this while being attacked. Yeah, I don't recall exactly when I got Paranoid. I have it on vinyl, but it's like a reissue. It probably was like somewhere in my mid-20s. It was a little. Oh my god! I'm gonna need you to take my guitar.
Okay.
Hey. Tell the internet why you're being a jerk.
No, thank you.
Oh, there goes my coffee. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. At some point, obviously, I saw it in a record store and was like, that's a record I should own. And I think that I was obviously aware of Black Sabbath anyway. And I feel like I bought this record and went, oh, all of the songs I know are on this
record. Right.
Done. I've never owned any other Black Sabbath records.
I really like the first one. It's got a couple of songs on it that I also was like, oh shit, that's right. This was one of their songs too. But I was just reading on the Wikipedia page that debut album was like pretty successful for them, and they were like, okay, well, we're on a roll now. Let's go make another album like right now. And it was only a matter of months after that first record was released
that they went into the studio
to record Paranoid.
Paranoid was like 1970,
which actually is surprising to me. I thought it was earlier than that, but I guess it does make sense because it was like right on the cusp of like the like hippie-ish, like more psychedelic kind of British rock and like the heavier like proggy psych stuff that was kind of about to happen.
It's like right at the end of when the drummers were still basically jazz drummers.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to like
fucking
Iron Maiden or whatever.
Right.
Because the drums are bananas on this record.
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
Some of them are. I mean, the drums for some of them are not. It's
Yeah.
like just really steady, which I appreciate. I really appreciate it, and I think we'll talk about this more on our Jimi Hendrix episode. But I really appreciate it when like a musician is demonstrably incredible at an album, but is not above just like playing a super straight beat or just like playing a super like simple, dirty riff. Like I really like that a lot.
You're right. Because like Cream or whatever, that drummer, even when he's doing something simple, he's not doing anything simple.
No.
There was a period at the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s, and I think his name was Mitch Mitchell, the Jimi Hendrix Experience drummer, is another one of these, but he will occasionally just settle into a rock beat.
Yeah.
And then I feel like whatever the drummer of Black Sabbath's name is, I have no idea. I should have looked it
I have
up.
the information.
He kind of bridges this gap because there are some like bananas jazz drummy bits on this record, but you're right.
Yeah.
He will just settle into a 4 on the floor if it's necessary.
Right. And I like that because it really like it emphasizes it. It like grounds the song and sometimes prevents it from going totally out of nowhere. But it also like gives the song a hook.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are some really good examples of that on Paranoid and some of the like, because it goes fucking crazy. There are some songs that are just like straight up like witchcraft nonsense, trippy, psychedelic, whatever. And then it's just like, ran and like that song Fairies Wear Boots. It just like gets all weird and spooky. And then they're just like, all right, let's just play 4 chords and roll into it. And I really, really love that because that's when you're like, fuck yeah, like,
yeah, there's a lot of weird, considering this is like kind of proto, like metal, proto doom, certainly. Like, there's some fucking like nonsense psychedelic moments on this record.
Which, like, honestly, the hippie, like, tarot card kind of like part of me loves that. And I found when I came back into that album, it was very much at the right time where I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna dive head into all this stuff because now I like Black Sabbath and I like that was that atmosphere. They really like kind of keyed into it, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. I thought all this fairies and magic nonsense was a little bit dumb 5 years ago, but I'm into it now.
Interesting.
You know, I know
it's kind of dumb, but
I know you hate all that stuff, but
I don't hate it, but it's silly.
It is silly, and I admit that. But I also think there are parts of it that like capture a certain part of the imagination.
Yeah,
that is worth exploring. You know,
mm-hmm.
And like I like that stuff. I am a textbook Capricorn, and that is why the weird secret freak part of me loves the psychedelic part of Black Sabbath. But like the more serious practical part of me loves the metal part of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So it really like serves both sides of my personality.
Well, I think it was like Black Sabbath is a really interesting band to talk about because they have this iconic front person who, let's be perfectly honest, I for a long time really only knew from the Osmonds TV show. I am a child of my era. I loved that TV show, weirdly. But he doesn't write the lyrics.
No.
So they would like jam, they would work the song out and he would just sing sounds.
He would like work out a melody.
He worked out the melody. And then Geezer, the bass player, wrote the lyrics.
Yeah. But I did
kind of weird way of
it's a really strange composition of like way to compose songs, but they also like Ozzy may have done the melodies, but I feel like 9 times out of 10 the melody just follows the bass riff.
Yeah. But maybe
the bass riff follows the melody.
Right.
You know, we
have no way of knowing. There was this BBC series where they would go in depth on a record, which I think is the same series that had the bit that I always talk about where Bruce Springsteen was recording the what's it called?
Darkness on the Edge of Town.
Yeah. The follow-up to Born to Run, where they all lost their minds. And they spent 2 weeks just trying to record the snare without hearing the stick hit the drum. It's incredible. But it's the entire band stood in the control room going, stick! No, I can hear stick for like 2 weeks.
Wow. That sounds awful.
I think it was the same series. They did one on Paranoid. And the only song on Paranoid that Ozzy wrote the lyrics to is Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like my favorite bit of TV because he's just like, yeah, I just thought of an Iron Man. I just heard the song and I thought of a big Iron Man. So I wrote a song about big Iron Man. If you can track down whatever the hell that documentary was, really check it out. I think it's also one of those classic ones where like all the band is interviewed together except Ozzy. You know?
Yeah.
Like people are not talking to each other anymore.
I mean, and to be clear, I have no interest in any Black Sabbath other than Ozzy era Sabbath.
Yeah,
Do not
same.
care for any other of the band. It's just not. I'm not interested in it. I don't want it. I don't need it. So
I
for
would
the
say
record,
I've not dug very deep past this one record.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the first two.
Yeah.
I know the third one is just the cover that has like Black Sabbath in the purple like wavy font.
Yes.
Could not tell you what songs are on that album, but I am aware of its existence.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, you know, you get what you need out of a band, and if Black Sabbath only ever gave us those first two albums, then maybe that would be enough. Ozzy had his own solo career, of course, which produced any number of other absurd songs.
There's some great moments in the solo career.
Yes. But it wasn't absurd.
I think the point of an artist putting out multiple records is that they're like, you don't have to like everyone. You can find the one that you like.
Right.
Or the two that you like. It's like, there's really two Led Zeppelin records that I spend a lot of time with. And like, you know, David Bowie, there's maybe 4.
Yeah.
Out of what, 25 or something?
I mean, it's
albums,
a rare
like,
band that you want to commit to being a completist to.
Yeah.
You know? And like,
well, personally, anyway.
For my money,
yeah.
I don't need to be a Black Sabbath completist. Those two albums really just drive it home.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of dudes that are gonna watch this and get annoyed.
Hey, you know what? That's on them.
You know what?
It's their problem.
The volume of records that you like by a single band does not prove or disprove your manhood. It's fine to say that one record is bad.
Yeah.
If that one record is bad. I think it depends on the band as well. Like, everybody is perfectly willing to shit on that one Metallica record. Because people don't like Lars. Yeah.
I mean, and not for nothing, not Metallica, because Metallica sucks. But whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and piss off all the metal bros.
Folks.
I'm going to do it. But, you know, I think I full disclosure, I definitely had like a stoner metalhead boyfriend who was like very into super shitty metal bands, but like I picked and choose some good ones out of that time. But Black Sabbath definitely was like the gateway drug to what I think how a lot of people could find like metal accessible, and
I think that's true, and I think they actually were literally the gateway.
Yeah, for a lot of other bands that would pick up that sound and turn it into other things, you know?
Also, for guitar players, like, I didn't have time to learn the whole solo of the bit of the song we're going to play, but, you know, what's his name? Tony Iommi?
Yeah.
That dude is missing fingers.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, a lot of his riffs are not that hard to play. Well, I think he's not missing fingers. I think he's missing the top of, like, all or most of the fingers on his left hand.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for them, which is funny, like, it seems accessible to us, kind of in retrospect, but when, like, Black Sabbath was first coming up, it was, like, absolutely outrageous, totally controversial, satanic, like, drug, death metal, whatever. Like, it freaked people the fuck out.
Yeah,
like,
and then
now-
he bit the head off a dove by accident. It's an incredible story as well.
I
He
mean,
just didn't think it was real.
That was
That's
a bat,
literally
right?
it was a bat.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a bat. He just didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to be a badass.
No, he wasn't. He just
He thought it was a
prop.
toy.
He just thought it was a prop and went
Oh
for it.
god.
But
Miraculously still alive.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of bands who, of course, are like super influenced and like directly influenced by Black Sabbath, and that have played it pretty straight and like close to the source material, and who have taken it a lot of other places, and like that is the sign of a band that has like true inspirational power. I would point out the band Acid King, who I love, San Francisco stoner metal band, which I don't think stoner metal would exist as a genre either if it wasn't for Black Sabbath.
No.
Essentially, that is what it is. But San Francisco-based band with a badass female front person, so good. If you're into Black Sabbath and you like want something that sounds almost just like it, you should check it out. It's great. But
I'd say also like the Sword.
Yeah.
And even like slower ones like that band Earth.
Right.
Like that's just Black Sabbath played really slowly.
Yeah. But it's like there's enough room in that sound for it to really kind of morph. And I think that's what's special about a band like Black Sabbath, and how I think it can be inspiring, and it can be kind of exciting on a lot of different levels. Even if like at the heart of it is kind of just like, it's like a very direct, recognizable sound.
Yeah, and I think it's like a big touchstone for a lot of teenagers. I mean, the stereotype would be teenage boys, but I don't think that it's really specifically teenage boys. But if you're like starting to play guitar and starting to think about trying to do a band, like these are good songs to try and play, because again, the riffs are quite easy, but also like the lyrics are although I will be needing them for this song that we're gonna do. Your foot's on the floor now. So we're gonna do a song, and we're not gonna be clever about which one on this album we're doing.
No.
But I realized that it's one of those songs where I know the lyrics, but I don't know where they go.
Yeah.
So I will be using a visual aid. Okay, are we done?
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna play the song now. We'll be back on Thursday, where we're talking about
1995.
So Crystal will be talking about No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom,
Yes.
which is not an album I got very into, although I do love Don't Speak. And
I mean, honestly, one of the weakest songs on the record.
Don't Speak was a monster hit in the UK, and nothing else on that record was.
So we'll talk.
And I will be talking about What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Mm-hmm. I honestly have nothing bad to say about that record. But did not have the impact for me that Tragic Kingdom did. So we will discuss.
So that's what's happening on Thursday, same time, same place. And the amp was being weird last night. Let's hope that it's up to the challenge. Ready?
Almost. Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay.
Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. We both think I'm insane because I am really the type. All day long I think, but nothing seems to satisfy. Think I'll lose my mind if I don't find something to pacify. Can you hear me? Occupy my brain. Oh, yeah. I need someone to show me the things in life that I can't find. I can see the things that make true happiness. I must be blind. Make it joke and I will sigh, and you will laugh and I will cry. Happiness I cannot feel, and love to me is so unreal. And so as you hear these words telling you now I stay, I tell you to enjoy life. I wish I could, but it's too late.
Yes.
Alright. We will see you all on Thursday.
Woo!
Couple of days.
Couple of weeks,
Couple
couple
of
of days,
weeks.
whatever.
Whatever.
You know.
Have some good times.
Yeah. Listen to Black Sabbath.
Listen to Black Sabbath.
It's raining out all day. It's the perfect day to listen to Black Sabbath all day long.